It's been a long time since we got any news on the newest Sonic racing game, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, but 2 weeks ago at Summer Games Fest we got a crazy amount of info. Tons of crossovers between a bunch of massive Sega characters, a bunch of new maps, and in a shocking twist, if it wasn't leaked 2 days early on Twitter, massive crossovers between giant IPs in the gaming industry. This game's shaping up to be something really special. Now if only there wasn't some giant unforeseen twist that could ruin everything. No! Yeah. In a move very similar to the newest Mario Kart, Crossworld is gonna be $70 standard, and for the digital deluxe they'll be spending $90 on it. And while that's a ludicrous price tag that signals how terrible the gaming industry is, with all the features the game offers, it could very well be a worthwhile racer to remember aside from that. Let's go over all the currently available information, footage, and reviews to find out, is Sonic Racing Crossworlds worth the price tag? No. No, it's not. But can it be the best kart racer of all time? Let's find out. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me if we reached 500 subs. Let's go over all the information we've seen since Summer Games Fest. First off, the gameplay itself, since that seems to be where the game has seen the least changes. And there shouldn't be. The game is good, and I said so much in my first video on it. But the changes they made are incredibly important, as according to people who played the new demo and Izuka himself, the item balancing has seen a major improvement, and thank the heavens. That was the biggest issue I believe was holding the game back, how unfair it could get. Now I don't have to worry about a cream main randomly item spamming me when I was in first place in the entire match. That is not okay. I'm better than you. For the new content, we finally see in-depth gameplay of the extreme gear. And disappointingly, it looks nothing like how it was in Riders, which I did expect seeing how this is much more of a traditional kart racer compared to the experimental extreme skill-based style of Riders. Instead, it functions more similarly to the bikes in Mario Kart. Similar, but it's a more skill-based option than the cars, with greater focus on drifting and well-timed boosts, so I'm not too upset. And besides, with this game's insane customizing system, you can make your board your own with your own colors and stickers. That'll be cool as hell. Another thing that's been confirmed by the official Twitter is that this will be the first Sonic racing game with speed options, which is a huge sigh of relief and something we should have suspected with how inconsistent the racing speed was in the promotional material. One thing pointed out by my good friend GDubA is that they used the camera and FOV really well to emphasize your speed, which is something Sonic games haven't done in a really long time, and I'm all here for it. I hope something like this gets added into a new 3D Sonic game. My only issue is that every speed mode outside the last one feels really slow, so I hope they decide to boost them up by a couple notches. And finally on gameplay, let's go over the rival and cup system. For the Summer Games Fest demo, we see that there will be 7 cups, and in every cup you get to choose a rival. Every interaction between every rival has original dialogue and interactions, which are really cool. Twitter got into a hissy fit over it, but come on guys, it's Twitter, they do that over everything. The fact we live in a world where we see Jet the Hawk trash talk Zaz of all characters is proof enough that there is a god. Before we get into the next topic, I want to quickly cover the music, as it's a really interesting case. The beta had fine music, yet it seems in the newer demos that the tracks have been entirely re-recorded with new instruments and improved melodies to sound better, which is really good to know that they're going as far as this to make the game as high quality as possible. Speaking of music, following the tradition of the rest of the Sonic racers, we have a full-on CGI intro with a vocal track backing it up. The visuals, especially in the beginning, look super stylish. The track itself is very muddy, but from what we're hearing, it's fine. The lyrics are kinda corny, but the melody is pretty catchy. But that's all for gameplay. Let's go over to the newly revealed characters and tracks, and oh my god, there are so many new tracks and characters announced. But let's go over to the exclusively Sonic ones first. The new ones we've seen from Sonic are Windmill Isle, Cool Edge, White Cave, Dragon Road, Sand Hill, and Starlight Carnival, and they all look really fun. Dragon Road and Starlight Carnival look especially good with how gorgeous the game looks, the fire and reflections really standing out. For new Sonic characters, it's confirmed that IDW and Prime characters will join the roster. And while I don't care for Prime, IDW characters finally being in an official console Sonic Team game is incredibly huge. But the biggest reveal is the extensive other series support. Sega IPs like Joker for Persona 5, Hatsune Miku, Ichiban from Yakuza Like a Dragon, and much more coming down the line as free DLC. Other Sega characters being in these racers has always been a treat and has been sorely missed from Team Sonic Racing, so having them back in full force with so many more big name characters is such a plus. But that's not all, as we see giant third-party support like Minecraft, SpongeBob, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Avatar The Last Airbender. This is insane. The fact we've gotten this level of tie-ins is incredibly big and exciting. Sadly, according to Izuka, they aren't getting voice lines and dialogue, which is really disappointing. The massive tie-ins will be in the season pass over the course of the year, which will cost... Okay, let's talk about it. Crossworlds is going to be $70 to $90. That's completely absurd. The fact they're charging a price on the same level as Mario Kart World, a game that was already mocked for its pricing by the entire internet, with Sega making some snarky remarks on it multiple times, yet committing the same fatal flaw it did, is complete idiocy. It's not even about Crossworld itself. This could carry over to every new game that releases from this point on. Sonic being AAA now is a double-edged sword, as that comes with having AAA pricing. Being for real, I'm not gonna tell you what you should do with your money. Being a Sonic tuber requires me to buy the game to keep everyone covered with news, reviews, and for a small channel like mine, views. But if you can't afford it, don't get it. Wait for it to go on sale like Sonic games notoriously do. Even with the insane pricing, Crossworlds still looks really good in almost every department, and it's obvious Sonic Team is pulling out all the stops to make this the best, longest lasting racer we've seen from them. And from the glowing reviews for both fans and critics, it legitimately has a chance to dethrone Mario Kart as the best kart racer, not only currently, but ever. But only time will tell. That's all for me. Hipster out.